Okay, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Tell me something you're grateful for.
I'm grateful that I actually had one weekend where I didn't work, sort of, and was able to spring clean my basement, which was absolutely necessary, and get everything that was in boxes out into the garage where it needed to be.
Beautiful. Okay. Yep. And I bet you even had something that something cool that happened in real estate, even though you were, quote, off, right?
Well, we're still going out again today, and then I may have picked up another buyer from just going out with my neighbor who was checking in on me, which was very sweet. So she was asking how the market is, and we were just talking. And she was talking to her son who is thinking about selling. So I'm going to be talking to him this week.
See what happens when you take a little time off?
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay, who's next?
I guess I'll go. So my dad came over and helped me build a fence where we had this old rinky-dinky chain link fence from 1970 and finally put up a nice new privacy fence. So made the house look better, give it some curb appeal.
Nice.
And then,
very nice.
Then I picked up a possible buyer and a possible seller. So
wow, how'd that happen?
Appointment. They called me off of a social media post. One of my friends saw it, and her mom is looking to sell a house, and and she's looking to buy one. So
wow,
we'll see.
What did the social media post say? What did it say specifically?
It was actually just a picture of me sitting at the pool. Well, not me at the pool, just at my pool, and I don't know. Had this. It was like a backpack cooler that was given to me by Wiseman closing attorneys.
Yeah.
And so I just posted it.
You guys have some fun with it. Look at this. Somebody makes a post with a tiny bit of real estate subtlety in there, and all of a sudden it's got two new prospects. Good job. Good job, sir.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else want to share?
I can go. So my buyer, we're binding, yay!
Nice. Tell us more.
Well, this one took me all over Metro Atlanta, from south of the airport to Gwinnett and DeKalb and Rockdale County, and we ended up binding in Cherokee County.
They went from Rockdale County to Cherokee County?
Yeah, he what was important to him was the house and the neighborhood, not the area. So literally drove all over Metro Atlanta, but we're binding.
Okay, when's the closing?
So the closing is 30 days out. So
beautiful, beautiful. Okay, who else wants to share some good news? Sounds like you guys are pretty active this weekend, picked up a few new clients. Anyone else have any new clients or any successes they want to celebrate?
Open houses, 2 possible buyers.
2 possible buyers. All right. Who else?
My first closing back with Keller Williams is today, and picked up a past client this weekend. She wants to properties and a property for herself.
Nice, guys. Would you say your first closing back is today?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Let's talk about some stuff that you guys are struggling with. Who wants to volunteer? We'll have a couple minutes of kind of brainstorming around how to help you. What are we struggling with right now? Everyone's rocking it? Okay, you guys try to be interactive with me now.
Trying to find people to put in my database, how to get that information, how to find them. I don't know. having trouble putting people I don't know, like new, fresh people in my database. How to find them.
Okay. Okay. So where is that process starting? Is that process starting from a cold call? Is that process starting from, being around somebody in like a supermarket or what? Or what?
Yeah, I mean, cold calls, I've tried that, but I guess, yeah, maybe just strangers in person.
Okay. So let me think about that. So where are you, like, who are we trying to put in? Are we trying to put in future sellers, future buyers? Where is our aim? What are we aiming for?
Numbers. So it can be sellers or buyers. I just, once I run out of the people I know, I'm running out of how to get people in there just to jump my numbers up, who I don't know.
Sure.
What are the best ways to do it, I guess?
So I know this is not maybe what you guys want to hear, but and please, if you guys want to share some of your successes or some of your challenges, let's talk about it all together. But my thought is somebody asked me the other day, do I need to be on the phone cold calling people all day? And I said, well, it depends. What you need to do is make sure that you get enough appointments to hit your financial goals. If your database is giving you that, then no, you probably don't need to do any cold calling. But if your database is not giving you that, then we have to get strategic on what actions we're going to take and where we're going to find these people. So could we do things like, first-time home buyer seminars? Can we do stuff like weekday open houses, right? Is there anything that's that can get us in front of large groups of people and positions us as the expert, right? Can you give a tutorial on these Chartmaster statistics, for example, right? They just got the internet up at the office, so I haven't gotten a chance to really comb through the Chartmaster slides, but did you guys see that we're gonna be doing a presentation from 2 to 4 on Thursday? 2 to 4 on Thursday, that's with Andy and Leslie. So please make sure that you have that on your calendar. There are a few of us who have our coaching calls. Let me just double check this. Okay, let's actually talk about this. I don't have any coaching calls set for those times, but I do have the all group session. So I am open to moving the all group session to a different time. But I want to make sure that, number one, that allows you to go to the Chartmasters program, and number two, that we actually go to the all group session that we reschedule. Do you guys have a preference for when that session? Well, let me tell you when I could maybe do it. Could you do like Thursday at 12? So instead of 3 to 4 on Thursday for the all group session, we do 12 o'clock on Thursday. Could that work for you guys? All right, I'm going to change it right now. I'll send out a message to all of you guys here shortly. But we're going to do the all group session Thursday at 12 o'clock, Thursday from 12 to 1. And that brings you guys up to participate in the Chartmasters class from 3 to 4. I'm sorry, from 2 to 4 on Thursday. Sound good?
2-hour class.
Sorry?
It's a 2-hour class.
Yeah, so Chartmasters will now be Thursday from 2 to 4. And to accommodate that, we'll move the all group session on Thursday to 12 o'clock. Okay.
Is that on Zoom or is that on Facebook?
I'm not actually sure. Hang on, I will look that up. Hang on. It was on the newsletter that was sent out by Mel, I think.
Okay.
Big goals. Hang on one second. Everyone's getting the newsletter, yes? Taking a minute just to review it?
Yeah, I'm looking in there now.
Okay,
Yeah.
It is Zoom. It is Zoom, and it is a Zoom meeting that is, with a different link and all that. So make sure you're going to the newsletter to get that for sure. Get that special link, okay?
Perfect.
Okay. One of the things that I got on a call this past week that I wanted to spend a few minutes with you on was what immediate adjustments are you making right now for your business for the shift? Right. We have a lot of things, like I've been going back through leadership. We've been doing a lot of watching some of the videos we were watching at the very beginning of COVID. If you are not on, what's it called? Will you mute yourself? There's a lot of background noise from somebody. I can't tell who it is. Hang on. Who's the loud guy? Okay, good. One thing that that we know is that the $600 extra unemployment benefit is set to run out, like I think it's sometime in the next week or two. And so you're going to start to see a lot of people that have been barely getting by for the last couple of months that now are even feeling more stress. So remember, now is a really good time to continue to ask those questions. How are you? Right? The number of positive tests are higher than they've ever been. We can't forget we're not out of this yet, right? So how are you? Is there anything I can do for you? Is everything okay with the kids? Is everything okay at work, right? It's not a real estate based call. You're simply checking in. I will take a moment to remind you guys that my suggestion is to interrogate your personal expenses and your business expenses. Okay. Every month, just take a look back at your credit card statement and say, hey, am I wasting any money? Am I spending money on things I don't need right now or things that I could do without, right? And even you save $10 here, $100 there, $300 there, you guys will be glad you did this in a couple of months. Things are probably going to get a little worse before they get a little better. Is everyone feeling that, or do you disagree, or do you want to talk about that?
Completely agree.
Okay. Do you have you experienced that with any of the people that you're courting right now, or is that just your take on it, kind of theoretically?
Yeah, both. I mean, just people that I know that I've reached out to that are unemployed, who are going to be in that situation you just talked about, no longer receiving that extra 600, things like that.
Okay. Have they voiced any, has that provided an opportunity for you in any way?
Yeah, there's at least a couple of folks that I am keeping an eye on because there is a possibility they might have to sell because they don't have a choice. So I've been checking and nurturing on them.
And so that sell, what is the plan that they're considering? Because we're probably going to see a lot of this, guys, right? You might sell a home that has a little bit of equity, right? And go move into a smaller place or a rental or something so that they can let this storm pass a little bit and not jeopardize either the loss of equity through a declining market or through the loss of the home entirely. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay. Is anyone else experiencing any conversations like this within their sphere, or anyone that they know?
Well, what I find interesting is that so many people have been offered to go back to work, and they're not going back to work because they're getting this money, but they don't realize what's ahead if they don't go back to work. And I think that, if those are the people that you should keep on your radar, because they're probably out spending that money and it's a big party, well, they're going to be the ones that are going to have to sell because, when they had the opportunity to have a job, they didn't take it. I can't tell you how many people at my husband's dealership have turned down the opportunity to come back to work because they're on unemployment.
Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts about that. It's just an unfortunate situation, and
That makes my head want to explode.
Yeah, you're not gonna build wealth by sitting around waiting for somebody to take care of you. You're gonna build wealth by going out there and making the largest impact you can on the most number of people, and by doing the right thing every single day, right? And unfortunately, those people are gonna do whatever they're gonna do, and we may have an opportunity to help them at some point in the future, right? But what you guys can control right now, you don't have a whole lot of control over much. But what you do have control over is how you're thinking and what action you're taking, right? So has anybody really kind of reviewed, you know, what's going on in the world and said, hey, I need to make some adjustments to the way I live from a personal standpoint, or how I'm running my business, or how I'm spending my money? Has anyone done anything specific to make sure that they're preparing themselves and protecting themselves from what's probably coming down the pike here soon?
I've already like cut a lot of stuff out and I don't know what else to do. And I'm kind of honestly very nervous because I don't have clients. I haven't had clients. And so it's a hard place to be in. And I'm one of those people that before this, I was a gig worker. I just started it on this and I'm going to be running out of that $600. So
Right.
It's hard to know how to talk to other people about it when it's my own concern as well.
Right. You're almost certainly not the only one, maybe not even the only one on this call. So I think that you have to go inside and say, you know, what would I appreciate? What could I benefit from the most right now? Right? Maybe a compassionate voice, somebody who's going to not talk at me, but listen to what I'm feeling and where I'm struggling and what I'm concerned about.
Well,
And
and being single mom and I'm in an apartment, I'm not in a house. I don't really have options for change a lot.
Well, your change will come, right? You might not be able to snap your fingers today and create a whole different world, but
Right.
that's your route right now,
Yeah,
right?
but I mean in the short term to make those adjustments, to be preparing. I mean, the only thing I can do is continue to have faith and keep going.
No, but you're 100% right, Heather. That is what you can do. You can keep your mind straight, and you can be purposeful every single day about making sure you're becoming a more trusted advisor and a more educated agent around the marketplace, and that you have more people to speak to. That is progress. Whether it feels like progress or not, you're developing your business. There's no other way to do it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you being vulnerable there.
The other thing that is going to help you, Heather, talking with new people, is because you're in the same situation that they are in and have been in that situation. So you can honestly relate to that. And that's going to help you, you know, by being vulnerable to them, that will bring those relationships closer and help you earn their trust and earn their business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're going to have more empathy, more natural empathy, more natural compassion, right? Because you've been in you're currently living that world, right? For somebody that's got a kind of a different situation right now, it's more of a stretch for them to kind of give sound advice and be patient, or be assertive and really try to help somebody that's living that life, you know, make progress. Make sense?
Yeah, but it's like, okay, so like hearing you talk about people that have the homes and might needing to be coming out of the home that they own to a different one. Part of the question in my head is I've owned a home before, I just don't own one right now because of the divorce and everything. So just kind of coming from that place of enough experience in the real estate sphere to know what to say to these people, you know,
it's a fine line, right? You want to be compassionate, you want to be empathetic, yet you're not a counselor, right? You're not trying to. You're a real estate agent, right?
Right, but to guide them in real estate decisions, and you know,
it's a lot more natural than you think it is.
Okay.
It's these questions, which are, hey, if somebody asked you for help with real estate, do you even have somebody that you would go to, right? When was the last time you thought about moving? Would you be offended if I came out and told you what I think? And it might be something that helps you, right? It's these simple phrases that are, hey, tell me a little bit about what's going well, what's not going well, what are you concerned about? Tell me, what's on your mind? How is this affecting you and your family and your work and your finances? Is there anything that I can do for you? You are essentially looking for a way to help. That is what we do right now, is we ask appropriate questions, which are somewhat vague, open-ended questions about how people are doing. And then we have all of our tools, which are, how do I help people make smart real estate investments? Or how do I help people get out of real estate investments, buy or sell homes, right? And then you share what you know, and it's a much more of a natural connection than I think you're giving yourself credit for, right? Because the second you identify a problem, you're going to go full speed into solving the problem, which you have plenty of experience at.
Yes.
Right. The biggest challenge for you is just getting into more conversations. That's the biggest challenge for all of us, really. Right.
Yep.
It might be time to go back to your database. Right. I sent out the email yesterday. This week, we're calling people with the last names D as in dog and O as in Oliver, and texting people with the last name as P as in Peter. Right. So go back to them and maybe do something a little bit different than the way you communicated with them last time you called. Maybe send them a video text, maybe poke them on Facebook or LinkedIn or something like that. Right? Let them know that you exist on a number of different places and that you're still curious about how they're doing. Right? People are losing family members. People are losing jobs. They're trying to figure out how to make this thing work. They're getting nervous about the safety stuff while at the same time getting tired about dealing with all the safety stuff, right? More often than not, they just want to speak. Just give them a chance to speak. What are you guys hearing?
Heather, I'm just like Bill said, because I am too a single mom of 3. So I've had to make a lot of adjustments, to my finances, my schedule, and do the same thing and still offer someone, just kind of being that ear, that sounding voice. Because like Bill said, people are just wanting someone to listen. And I think when we listen, when we're able to listen, more, we'll hear what they're trying to tell us. Come out, right there, but, be yourself. And I've had to learn that, because I don't, I'm a people's person, but still yet sometimes I get nervous. But I think when I open myself up to hear and to listen and to talk to people, then the conversation just goes. And before you know it, you're talking about those very things that they're hurting from, they're needing, and especially during this time of, virus and how our lives have come to this normal, what we're dealing with. I think it's just, just listening and being that, that maybe that sounding voice, to help people through this, because people they just want somebody there. They just want to hear somebody, that can sympathize with them and just hear them out, whatever the situation, kind of hold their hand, through these times. I mean, for me, going through my divorce, I've had to have people to literally walk me through. They may not have known what to say, but just to be there and to hold my hand, to check in with me, here and there, send me a quick text or something like that. I'm thinking about you, praying for you, hope you and the kids are doing well, so I had to get used to that new normal. And again, my finances took a whole hit. I'm still trying to recover from that, because of my divorce, but like I said, just being there for people and just, hearing them and listening, holding their hands through whatever crisis they may be experiencing in this time. Sadly to say, even if it is, they have to move from their home to something smaller or something like that, but still just walk them through that and be there for them.
That's right. And you'll probably end up with a couple of ideas. Mm-hmm. Right? How are some of your peers or your sphere of influence, how are they overcoming some of these challenges they're facing, right? I know it sounds really elementary and we say like, what's this got to do with real estate? But we're in the people business, guys, right? Success in real estate is at the crossroads of numbers and relationships, right? So the more relationships and the deeper those relationships are, real estate is just simply the widget we sell, right? We're in the relationship business.
Last Friday, I seen a post that one of my friends put that she got her dual citizenship. So I went to, and I know she likes to garden, so I went to Home Depot, which is where the famous Home Depot conversation happened with Kathy, right?
Yeah.
I got her some flowers. I got her cheap, the $1.50 little flowers. I got a red, a white, and a blue, and a flag, and I brought them to her.
It's that kind of stuff. That is so cool. It's that kind of stuff. It's it's clear you were listening, and then you took action, right? You just got to do that 1,000 times, right?
And those things will go a long way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is probably the
Stressful.
nicest thing, the most personalized, nicest thing that person has had done for them in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you ask those questions. Hey, like, is there anything I can do for you right now? Right. We have very big networks of, anything from financial planners to business development people to coaches to attorneys to home related vendors. Should you ever need a connection with any of these people, please understand I've got a lot of them ready to help you. Right.
Well, these are people, her and her husband, who I feel as a nurture are more for references at this point than for any business themselves.
That's okay. That's okay.
And we made plans to go tubing on the river.
There you go. Right.
When I was there with the kids.
And maybe when that relationship deepens and solidifies a little bit more, and when you feel like you've earned the right to ask to bring up real estate specifically and talk about it in a business sense, where you say, hey, more than likely you're going to come across 6 or 7 people that want to move this year. And it would mean the world to me if you could make a connection for 1 or 2 of them. Mm-hmm. Is that something you'd be willing to do for me? Right. And then subconsciously what they're saying, what they're hearing is, this woman who has been such a wonderful help and empathetic ear to me is asking for something, and now I'm going to go out of my way to support her. Mm-hmm. Right. Then you've parlayed that series of short conversations and $2 worth of flowers into a $10,000 commission check.
And she's one of the people that I brought the Mother Day delivery to as well.
Exactly. So how can you make specific, immediate adjustments to your business to protect it, right? My thought is you're going to protect your business by doing a couple of things. Number one is you're going to get into conversation with more people. It doesn't have to be FSBOs or expired. You're just going to be in conversation with as many people as you possibly can, right? If you feel like you've run out of people, call some home-related vendors, right? Hey, mm-hmm. How are you doing? Right, I'm a local agent with Keller Williams. I'm checking in on some of our, vendor partners. How are you doing? Is there anything that I can do to help you right now? Right.
Oh, there's a situation I wanted to make everybody aware of that happened over the weekend that was really strange. Just stuff coming out of the wood, I guess. I don't know if everybody knows that I have a cleaning company. I had someone contact me and they were messaging me and asking if I could do a clean while they're, set up a clean while they're not there. And I said I could, but it's a normal question. Who will let me in? How will I gain access? These different things. And his answers weren't quite lining up for me. And he gave me the address. He gave me the square foot. I sent him the agreements. His assistant was going to meet me there. It all seemed kind of weird though. So I looked up the property on Remind.
Yeah.
And the square foot did not match, and the home was for sale and it's vacant.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was with a Keller Williams agent down in Atlanta. And so I contacted the Keller Williams agent and said, hey, this is Heather with Keller Williams in Roswell, and I'm calling you because I also have a cleaning company, and I have someone contacting me to clean one of the homes that you have listed. And it doesn't appear that they're the homeowner. We're looking at Remine, and it doesn't appear that the square footage they're giving me is matching. So I'm concerned that it's some kind of fraud or scam. And so I took screenshots of all the messages and sent it to her, and she has nothing to do with it. And he was trying to set up cleanings like 3 times a month. She contacted him and said, what interest do you have in this property? And he hung up on her. And so the homeowners filed a police report.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he showed up at the property when a different agent was there, not even her, and tried to say he was there to get a cleaning estimate. And so they called the police again. But what this, like, I don't know if he's looking to rob it. I don't know if he's hoping to violate someone or beat someone, or if he's looking for a place that maybe he could, you know, try to do eminent domain, like move into. I don't know what his purpose is, but there's weird things happening. So
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is when we just have to, like, way to trust your instincts on that, first of all, right? And way to do a little bit of research before you just jump in the car and run off to meet somebody, whether it be because of your real estate business or your other business. Yeah, I mean, gosh, unfortunately, there is that stuff out there. So please, if you're meeting somebody that you're not familiar with, that has inquired on something and it just doesn't feel right, you know, if you decide to meet them, do some research. Let's plug them into the forewarn system. Let's Google them. Let's look at their social media. Let's see if we can do a little bit of research to make sure that we are not putting ourselves into a compromising situation. Don't meet the person for the first time at a vacant house by yourself. Okay.
I was
Say,
thinking
hey,
to myself, though, what happened? Like, I can't imagine if I was someone that didn't have access to Remine, that didn't have access to those resources.
or who quote was, I was just so busy, I just ran over there. Right. Hopefully the guy has been found, and he won't be able to do whatever he's trying to do to anybody.
Well, they said that the police said that they couldn't do anything about it until he actually did something.
Maybe they'll set him up then. But please trust your instincts, guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel comfortable, you know, put in the group, hey, I'm meeting somebody in Marietta for the first time. You know, would somebody like to come with me, or whatever? There's no commission check that is more important than your peace of mind and your safety. Okay.
Right. And do a buddy system, you know, let someone know if you're going, like Bill said, let someone know if you're going someplace, you never met someone, let somebody know, hey, I'm going here, check in next 15 minutes and kind of say, hey, I'm with the client, or if they, you know, whoever's on the telephone, say if it was, hey, LaWanda, you know, so-and-so, is everything okay? Yes. You want me to call you back in 15 minutes? Sure. You know, that kind of thing. Right. Just to, and I registered, but I have met people before. Hey, can you, my company requires me to register every client. Can you send me your driver's license so I have that and send that back to my office?
Yep, exactly. And, you know, even the little things like don't park in the driveway. If you get there first, don't park in the driveway and let the guy come in behind you and block you in, right? Park on the street. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you need to carry a mace, or you know, you carry a gun, like, look, you gotta feel comfortable. Whatever it takes to make you feel comfortable, that's what you should do. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm looking over the numbers, guys. We're a little ahead of pace for last month, where we set a couple of records. So I just want to recognize I do see your efforts and I appreciate them, and I'm excited to continue to see them grow. For those that we have calls over the next day or two, make sure that you update your numbers before the call begins. And I hope to do a little bit of Chartmasters study with you guys prior to Thursday. But for those that came on the call late, we're going to do the all group session at 12 o'clock on Thursday, and that will give you an opening to participate in the Chartmasters class with Andy and Leslie from 2 to 4 on Thursday. Okay. And don't forget, we have basic skills camp from 2 to 3 today. And if you're interested, I could do Chartmasters then. So if you have any particular contracts or presentations or whatever, if there's something in particular you want to learn about today between 2 and 3, just let me know, and we can include that in our time together. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Have a great day. Go meet some people. Be safe.
Thank you, guys.